That's the debate.
What was the line with Vlad
That's the
TV?
debate.
What was the line? Because that was your man.
Oh,
50
man.
grand.
That's such a big conversation.
Every
I'm so
time.
glad you brought that up because I can't wait to give mine.
Every
So
time
that was
I
my
used to
son's
see-
man?
That was his man.
That
He
was
was in
my-
security,
that-
man.
I wasn't in security, but
Man,
I
I'm
was in
saying
security.
a little bit
A little bit because
A little bit.
because
Like up until recent
A little
times.
bit.
Yo,
A little bit.
N.O.R.E,
A little bit. A little bit.
Oh
But
my
when he tried, this is what he does. Hey, let me give you a pound.
A little bit. You know I know my
Give a clap.
He's doing his own Vlad TV
Because
shit.
yo, listen,
I used to
Vlad
love
was his
Vlad.
man too. Like,
Yeah,
no,
my man.
we all do
My
Vlad.
man.
We all do
You used to
Vlad.
love
Still is.
Vlad.
So listen to
I
me.
used to
So
love
so let me
Vlad.
tell you something.
We know
honest with
Vlad.
I got love for him.
For about a decade, right? Vlad has been my friend. Was my friend, right?
You don't
And-
say friends either about people, so
No,
that he really was.
He
your
was my friend. Like Tamika knows, I told her this is my friend. Like everybody who knows this is my friend. I've had arguments with people. I've gotten debates. All of this was my friend because I first came home. You know, I'm fresh up, trying to do this. Vlad was like, "Yo, I got an opportunity for you to get a record deal." I had this single that was out, Jim Jones on it. He shot the video for me. He helped me do all this shit. Like, we're gonna get you a record deal. Got some money in my pocket. Was helping me do a lot of shit when dudes who I done shit for in this industry didn't do nothing for me. Dudes that I thought was family. I came home with nothing, didn't do nothing for me. This was one of the first people that just fuck with me. Honestly, wasn't on no bullshit like, yo, I fuck with you, I like your music, boom, boom, boom. And we started having conversations. I'm like, yo, I fuck with the dude. He's a white dude. He don't really know much from the hood. He's not hood, but that's who he is. And he'll tell you, I'm not hood. He got a website. This is what he does. He posts shit. He like, this is what I do, Mice. You know, I post shit. You know, and I'm like, okay, cool. But just understand, you might have to deal with that. Like, oh, I get it. Okay, cool. When you do some bullshit, I'm gonna check you because that's who I am. I'm never gonna let you do some bullshit on my watch and not check you. Boom. But when somebody do some bullshit to you, and I know it's bullshit because they think you're just a white boy, I'm gonna check them. Like, okay, I know you're a white boy. You think, but he's my friend, so we're not gonna play that either. So that's been my position in his life for a while. So he'll come to New York. If he was when he lived in New York, we hung out all the time. Boom, boom. I knew his family. At the dinner, at the table, bring me to his house. Like, this is my friend.
Yeah, real friendship, right?
This is friendship. So niggas can say what they want, nigga. I've never been a nigga you can buy. You can't pay me for nothing. I'm not a sucker. You know what I'm saying? I've never been. Anybody who knows me know I stand on what I stand on. But he exhibited a level of loyalty and friendship to me that wasn't exhibited to people that I thought was my family and friends.
Right.
And that's just a
That
fact.
says a lot.
You know what I'm saying? So that's what it was. So for years we went through that. I took flack with him when he did shit. I had beef with Hot 97 when he was talking about all type of shit. Me and Ebro had conversations. Mr. C like, yo, this is my friend. Whatever it is, I get it, but this is my friend. Me and Wack had a conversation, some shit he did with Ray J. This is my friend. Yeah, whatever. All right, Wack, I hear you, but that's my man. So I'm not letting nothing happen to him. That's just a fact. And these is real shit. Like, nigga, he had real shit, and I had to step in like, okay, I get what you're saying. I'm gonna make him fix that, but I can't let you do nothing to him because it's my friend. So if you cross the line of that, then understand this is still my friend.
Right.
I've done that on the strength of who I am as a man. The part where he crossed the line for me was in this situation with Minister Farrakhan, right? So when the situation happened, I didn't know what was going on. You know what I'm saying? People calling me, blah, blah, blah. I see this on the thing. I'm like, Vlad, what happened? Like, oh, you see what he said? I'm like, what did he say? I don't understand what you're saying he said. He's like, yeah, I just did an interview with, who was it?
D.L. Hughley.
D.L. Hughley. You know, D.L. Hughley said what he wanted to say. Nobody talks about that part, but that's neither here nor there. Anyway.
D.L. Hughley is my friend.
That's her friend.
That's
And I know
what
D.L.
people
Hughley,
know.
but nobody has called him to the table about what his part in that situation, because he
I didn't even know he had a part in that
D.L.
situation.
Hughley is my friend.
He had a big part in that situation.
And that's that.
That's it. He had a part in that situation.
Thank you very much.
Everybody ignored his part, I guess, because Vlad is a white dude that they didn't like. Cool, I
That's
get
right.
it. And
That's right.
He's a white dude that they didn't like,
That's
so
right.
cool. So he asked D.L. Hughley some questions. He said this, and he labeled it saying that the minister calls for violence against Jews. So I'm like, Vlad, where did you get that from? He sent me a clip. So when I see the clip, I'm like, I see the clip, but that's not the whole clip, Vlad. Where did you get this? Oh, he's been saying this. Okay, well, what does that got to do with this clip that you just sent me? Because this is not the whole clip that the minister said.
Right.
So I sent him the whole clip. I said, you need to listen to the whole clip because you'll realize that he didn't call for violence. He was talking about something out of the Bible that it says throw stones at evil and this and that. Not the Jews, those stones at the evil. When you see him throw stones of truth, not physical stones to hurt nobody. He was using scripture. So he said, oh, I didn't see this whole thing. All right, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take it down. Me and Trey had conversations. Trey called me like, yo, boom, boom, what's going on? We got on the phone with him. He said, yo, I'm gonna take it down and I'm gonna say that out of respect, I'm taking it down, even though I don't agree with a lot of things the minister said, but I'm going to take it down. I said, okay, cool. I can't tell you to agree with what somebody says. Right. You know what I'm saying? So, cool, that was enough. He took it down. Everybody like, nah, you need an apology. Like, yo, he calls me like, Mice, I'm not gonna apologize because the situation is something I don't feel like I have to apologize. I took it down, I misquoted it, I did everything possible, but people are now trying to make me apologize. Now, when I heard the apology thing and make me apologize, I said to myself, damn, this reminds me of the situation that happened with Tamika when they were saying, yo, you gotta say this, and you gotta say this, and the whole community's like, you need to say this, and I'm like, yo, nobody can't force you to say what you don't wanna say. Who gets the fuck to tell you how to talk, right? So this was my thing. I'm like, yo, listen, you don't gotta apologize, but you gotta right the wrong. You gotta take that shit down and say you made a mistake. Now, if you don't wanna apologize, cool. I'm not asking you to apologize, right? And he's like, yeah, thank you, because it just messed up. So cool, you don't want to apologize. But you got to deal with the ramifications of not apologizing because the Nation of Islam is going to want an apology from you. Now, if you willing to deal with what comes with that, cool. He's like, fuck that, because I stand on what I stand on, and I'm willing to lose friends and everything behind this. So I'm like, okay, that's how you feel. But you fixed the wrong. You took that shit off the thing. You said you made a mistake. Cool. Now, Royce comes up. Yo, he had a conversation with him, said, oh, Vlad said, I give Mysonne money, I done this and that. And I'm like, okay, well, why would that conversation come up with you and Royce? Where would that give Mysonne money for what? What have you ever gave Mysonne money from? You've loaned Mysonne. You've done shit for me like in crisis that friends would do because I thought this was my friend. If you call effing like, yo, I need this, I need you to give me $500 right now for some shit that's going on here. All right, send it to me. Effing ain't gonna go and say, yo, I've given N.O.R.E money because that's your friend, right? This is your friend. So the fact that he had a conversation with a man about money he gave me that wasn't really nothing, $700, like, nigga, I thought we was friends for 10 plus years. So when you having a conversation with another man about what you do for me, I don't even know where that comes from. So that's one thing. Then me and Royce get into a back and forth debate about it. Boom, boom.
13 hours on social media. Bro, damn near drove me out of my mind. I couldn't believe it.
On Instagram, we had a live. Trey is calling me like, bro, get off live right now. Trey is texting me like, get off. I'm mad because I'm having a conversation with a nigga Jesus. And we going back and forth. And I'm like, regardless of what, I'm gonna stand on what I stand on, and this is my friend. But obviously, I'm starting to realize I might not be his friend. By the way this conversation is going, right? Me and Royce like, but why would a man say this? And even though I still had a situation with Royce, you got my phone number. You could have called me. You didn't have to put some shit on Instagram. And that was my issue with Royce. Like, Royce, you got my number. If you didn't have my number and you said, Vlad said he did this for my son, I wouldn't feel a way. But the fact that you got my number, we supposed to have a relationship, I feel you out of pocket for that. So that's really where my whole thing with him is. It ain't even about Vlad at this point. It's about me and you, blood. Just say, yo, you know what? I could have called. No. And he's still standing on, I shouldn't have called you. He said that, so I said it to the world. I don't understand why you think that's okay. So we going back and forth. After I get off the phone with him, me and Trey have a conversation. Trey like, nah, bro, that's my brother. I'm going to take in I'm going to absorb what he said to me, right? Everybody's calling me saying this. I'm absorbing. So I called Vlad. I'm like, Vlad, I just don't understand how a conversation about you giving me money came into a conversation with you and Royce. Like, where did that? Oh, I thought I was having a private conversation, this and that. So I remember. So we going back and forth. I'm like, but what is it that? Why don't you feel that you want to apologize? Is there an issue? He like, listen. I said, when Nick Cannon got into a situation, he apologized. Yeah. He said, well, Nick Cannon had to apologize because his money was affected. Right? He said, my money ain't been affected. I had the best month in Vlad TV ever. So I said, so you telling me that if your money was affected, so it ain't about principle for you. It ain't about you standing on what you, because you told me I'm standing on what I stand on as a man. Right. So now if that was your money being affected, then you would apologize. So you don't feel that black people affect your money. You don't feel like disrespecting one of the leaders of black community affects your money. So you don't feel like you have to apologize. Because if it affected your money and this was a bad week for Vlad, you would go up and say, yo, you know what, I apologize. That's what you're saying to me. He like, I'm saying, I mean, listen, I'm not saying that, but we gotta be honest. If it was affecting my money, I would have to think differently. I said, oh, so you say you wouldn't lose friends, you wouldn't compromise my friendship, throw me under the bus for protecting you as a friend, lose Lord Jamal, all the people, black people who've been holding you down for years because it's not affecting your money. So we just expendable. But if it was affecting your money, you would apologize. You ain't gonna affect your money because you know that we gotta deal with shit as black people from this community that you profit off every day. You don't give a fuck about that. I said, okay, Vlad, I realize now, you never was my friend. At that point, I realized you're not my friend. You feel like I benefited you in some way, so you kept me around because I don't jeopardize or benefit or take away from your money. The minute that I take away from your money, then you're gonna do shit for me that makes sense, right? At that point, I realized we not friends. You know what I'm saying? He drew that line. It wasn't nobody else. You can't talk me into not being mans with my man. Nobody can. Right. If I call you my friend, only thing that could damage my friendship is you. Nobody can't tell me nothing about you to change. I went to that man and he looked me and he talked to me on the phone and told me that he wasn't gonna apologize because it didn't jeopardize his money. Even though it harmed black communities and the people that I loved and people that I looked up to, even though it harmed them, it didn't jeopardize your money. So because I came to you as your friend, who you know was frontline with you, willing to take beefs and shit from you and say, yo, this is probably the best thing to do. You didn't. That wasn't something that you.
After he told on Rick Ross, you were still running around with him in New York.
Because I said because you're a citizen, nigga.
He's a citizen.
Rick Ross beat you up. You get him. I didn't think.
Goddamn, I was holding up.
You know what I'm saying? That's your job. Like, listen, how else you gonna get? How else you're not gonna go beat a nigga up? He ain't gonna shoot nobody. So I didn't take it as that. I took it as a civilian. Did the civilian shit.
Take it